Hello there, my name is Peter Thompson and this is one of my Myths of Golf videos. This one is about starting the downswing, moving the right elbow down towards the right hip. I've heard that many times, I'm sure you have as well. But watch what happens if you do that. So right elbow down towards the right hip. Look where the shaft's pointing. It's pointing 45 degrees to the right. A lot of these myths are illusions. This is an illusion. From the top of the backswing, within about 0.2 of 1 second, the ball's gone. And you simply cannot mess about trying to think of one part of your body in 0.2 of 1 second. It's not possible. So, top of the swing, the myth is, the illusion is, the right elbow comes down towards the right hip. I'm going to show you Ernie Els' golf swing now and prove to you quite categorically that it is an illusion, it's a myth. But let's go and have a look at Ernie Els. This is Ernie Els, and I took this film myself at Augusta National, which starts tomorrow actually. Yeah, it starts tomorrow in November. It's really strange. This was in April 2004, and one of my pupils, Gary Wolstenholme, had won the Amateur Championship the year before, 2003, and he gave me 2 tickets for 5 days. So my wife and I went there and had a fantastic time. If you get the chance to go, just go. This is Ernie Els on the 18th tee in a practice round. Ernie Els has been a former world #1 golfer. He's won 71 tournaments, including 4 majors. And his nickname is the Big Easy, because everyone does his swing. I think his swing is superb. He makes all the right movements in all the right sequence. But this illusion of the right elbow going down towards the right hip is just that, or a myth. Let's have a look. In his pocket, there's a scorecard. So I'm going to put a circle on the scorecard and then another circle on the right elbow. Then we'll go to the top of his backswing, and you will note now that the scorecard has disappeared because of the quite substantial hip turn, and his right elbow is now definitely above his right hip. But if the right elbow came down towards the right hip, he missed the ball altogether. Or at the very best, he'd hit the ball way into the trees on the right. So the illusion is this: the elbow is dropping down, yes, but the body's turning around at the same time. So let's watch. Scorecard moving. The scorecard now is a long way round, nearer to the ball than when he addressed the ball, and his right elbow that was in this little circle is now outside of the circle. Just think for 1 second, if the hip is moving towards the ball, which it is, then the arms will also move towards the ball. So the right elbow cannot physically, well it can, but if it did, you miss the ball altogether or bury the club in the ground a long way behind the ball and a long way to the left of the ball, as we see it on the screen. screen. Let's watch again. Right hip's gone round, elbow's gone round, elbow is definitely above the right hip, but it's not going to drop down. I'll put a little arrow on the right elbow, and we'll see if the arrow or the right elbow moves down towards the right hip. But watch this. It didn't. Watch again. The elbow is now above the hip. The body is turning, all of the body is turning, the knees, the hips, the chest, all turning around, arms dropping down, but because of the turn, the elbow that was now on the top of the arrow isn't anymore, and the hip is moving round. That's what happens. So the myth, the illusion, is the right elbow drops towards the hip. It's just an illusion. That isn't what happened. I'll show you that in a different way. A line on the shaft at address, and a line down the right arm at address. So knees are going to move around, hips are going to move around, shoulders, perfect takeaway, that's fantastic. Top of the backswing, extremely good, face dead square, just like Bryson DeChambeau, by the way. And Kyle Berkshire hits the ball 360 yards with his putter, almost has the face dead square, but that's not in this video. The hands were on this line, and the shaft was on this line. Because he's moving left and turning his body round, when he hits the ball, you might not believe this, but that's what's happened. The shaft was on that line, and the hands were on that line, but his right hip has moved nearer the ball, turning round, a lot nearer to the ball, by the way, when he addressed the ball. His hip was outside his heels, where they should be. Then when he hits the ball, his hip now has moved near to the ball by probably 6 inches, and because of the body movement moving round and to the left and the right side moving near to the ball, the right elbow cannot possibly move down towards the right hip. And that hopefully will make a lot of sense to you. Again, circle, and circle, on the right hip, disappeared, swinging down, arms coming down, body turning round, and the right hip is now over here, right elbow is over there, so the right elbow did not and could not possibly move down towards the right hip because the hip is moving. So that's the illusion, that's the myth. Please don't try it. In the downswing, move your hips to the left, move your hips round, swing your arms down, and that's all going to happen simultaneously. We don't want the elbow dropping down towards the hip. I'll just do that with a long pole. Okay, this pole will represent the shaft. Now there. Now I'll drop the elbow towards the hip. Look, it's pointing. It's pointing way, way, way over to the right. So if in your own game you hit the ball fat, or you hit the ball to the right, or where you try and turn your shoulders around to make it go straight, the ball will then go left. So you need to start down, the whole body moving together. Hips left, shoulders round, hips round, arms dropping down so the shaft now is there, and then the ball goes straight. So that's the myth. Drop the elbow towards the right hip. Please don't do it. It physically cannot ever work. Thank you for listening. Thank you very much.